When Salima came back from the city, she suddenly felt she was better than everybody in her village. She had spent only 3 months with her aunt in Lagos, but she returned as if she had discovered a new world. Every conversation became about the tall buildings, the shopping malls, the restaurants with air conditioning. She walked differently now, swinging her hips like the city girls she had seen, speaking with an accent that nobody recognized as real. The village women noticed the change immediately. Salima no longer joined them at the stream in the mornings. She complained about the dust on the roads and covered her nose when she passed the market. Her mother watched with worried eyes but said nothing. Then the announcement came. The prince of their region would visit the village in 2 months for the traditional bride selection ceremony. It was an old custom, one that happened every generation. The young women would perform the ceremonial dance, and the prince would choose his bride from among them. It was considered an honor, a chance to elevate not just oneself, but one's entire family. The village buzzed with excitement. Young women began practicing the intricate steps of the bride dance, their ankle bells ringing through the evening air. Mothers helped their daughters prepare their ceremonial wrappers and beaded jewelry. Salima watched it all with contempt. She stood at the edge of the village square with her arms crossed, laughing as the girls practiced their turns and bows. She called them pick-me girls, desperate women who would lower themselves for male attention. She told everyone within earshot that city girls would never participate in such backward traditions. This was the 21st century, she declared loudly, not the Stone Age. Why would any self-respecting woman dance for a man to pick her like fruit at the market? Her words cut deep. Some of the young women stopped coming to practice. They felt ashamed, suddenly seeing their traditions through Salima's mocking eyes. One by one, they withdrew their names from the ceremony. Salima seemed pleased with the chaos she had created. Adewa, who had the most graceful movements, told her mother she would not participate. Zara, whose voice carried the ceremonial songs beautifully, made excuses about being too busy. Even Chidima, who had been preparing since she was 16, decided the whole thing was outdated and embarrassing. She continued her campaign right up until the week of the ceremony, reminding everyone that she would never stoop so low, that she had seen how modern women lived, that this tradition belonged in a museum. The day of the ceremony arrived. The prince came with his entourage, dressed in white traditional attire with gold embroidery. The village gathered in the decorated square. The drums began their ancient rhythm. The announcer called for the young women to come forward. Only 7 girls stepped into the circle. The crowd murmured in disappointment. Usually, there were at least 20 participants. Then, the announcer called another name. Salima. The crowd gasped, heads turned. People stood on their toes to see if they had heard correctly. But there she was, walking into the circle wearing the most elaborate ceremonial wrapper anyone had seen, her body adorned with coral beads that must have cost her family a fortune. Her face was painted with the traditional bride marks, her hair braided in the intricate style reserved for the ceremony. The shock was unexplainable. The same woman who had mocked this tradition for weeks now stood among the participants, her head held high. When the music began, Salima danced. She danced with a fierceness that stunned everyone. Her movements were sharp and precise, her footwork flawless. She had clearly practiced every step, mastered every turn. While she had been publicly ridiculing the ceremony, she had secretly been learning the dance, perfecting it in private, while others slept. She danced like someone who had something to prove, like someone who wanted to win more than anything in the world. When the dance ended, the prince stood. He walked through the circle of breathless young women. He stopped in front of Salima. He placed his ceremonial staff at her feet. She was picked. The one who called others pick-me has become the biggest pick-me of all time.